take a second to prepare it. And then I'm going to close down everything that's going to interfere and ding on my computer.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that real quick too.
Okay. All right. It looks like we are live. Yay! Yay. I'm so excited. Welcome to Radiant Life Conversations, Melissa. I'm so excited to have you here with us today and be a part of the Radiant Life intention.
Excited to be here.
So I love this opportunity because, of course, I love to just talk to women and see what they're up to in the world. And after you agreed to join us on the talk show, I did a little bit of a deep dive and a little bit of stalking of your social media. And so I'm super excited. I'm so excited to have you on because I just can't wait for you to share what you're up to and what's going on with you. So let's start out with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Melissa. I am a mom. That's like, I feel like that's like the big thing, like, whoa, I'm a mom. And so I've got two kiddos, 6 and 4. And oh my gosh, they are like the most energetic, crazy kids. Like, I don't know what I expected, but they are like way more than I expected. Oh my gosh, they love so hard. So I am loved for sure. I'm a wife. My husband, yeah, he's less energetic than the kids, but he's great. We live just outside of Disney. So we're in Florida, and I'm a former Disney cast member. My husband's a current cast member. We love Disney. We go as often as we can. I'm a current virtual assistant, so I help other people run their businesses while I'm sitting at home. And at the same time, I've got a couple of other little side businesses of mine that I'm trying to, build and talk about. And I have fun with them. And I just love to be outside and doing things. And I love reading and taking naps and cooking, and even more importantly, like eating. I just love good food and I enjoy life. So
that's awesome.
In a nutshell.
I love that you're just like, I love to eat, and I feel you there. My husband and I, one of our favorite things to do is cook together. Like, we try to cook together most nights of the week, and we spend a ton of time in our kitchen, and we would rather cook at home than eat out because we feel like our food turns out so much better than everywhere else.
It does. I mean, there's so many times you go and you order something and then you're just kind of disappointed because you're like, I probably could have made this and enjoyed it more, and it would have been better, and I probably would have added more veggies or something to make my feel better about it. And
every time.
That's fun.
Yeah. So I feel you there. Like, kindred spirits on the food.
Mm-hmm.
I used to say that the only reason I worked out is because I love to eat.
Yeah, I want to eat more. I ironically wore my gym then tacos hat this morning on my walk. So I'm like, I need to put things in order here, try to, get a little exercise, and then I get a tacos.
Tacos. So funny story, tacos. Yesterday being Cinco de Mayo. Mm-hmm. So our 8-year-old, who's the only one left at home now, loves tacos. And we do Taco Tuesday every week. And I'm so sick of tacos. Like, I didn't know you could get sick of tacos. But we do the exact same, like, every single week. Well, we'd had like a ton of leftovers in the fridge, and I was so exhausted on Tuesday after a full day of clients. And so I was like, I'm not making tacos tonight. We'll just do leftovers. So we unintentionally ended up having tacos on Cinco de Mayo. We go to bed last night, and my husband and I, as we're pulling the extra pillows off the bed, on opposite sides of the bed, and we're both like, we had tacos on Cinco de Mayo and we didn't plan that.
It's pretty funny.
Oh.
It's good stuff, It's a happy accident.
Right? So what are what are the other things that you're doing, little businesses, side businesses that you're kind of up to and you're throwing out in the world?
So it's funny, like for a while, I thought I'm really not like entrepreneurial, like business. I don't know. I went to school, like I have a business degree, whatever. But then I thought back, I'm like, I used to make these little like brochures that would say like, I can pick up the sticks in your lawn and dust your house and babysit. And I like gave them to my neighbors when I was a kid. Like I realized I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess I've always been kind of like picking up things along the way and doing it either way. But so right now, um, I market wines, clean crafted wines that are free of chemicals and no added sugar and just like the grapes and the good stuff. I mean, sure they have to add some things to, help it out, but it's I've learned a lot and it's fun and I enjoy drinking the wine. So why not talk about it too?
Yes.
Actually, I think I've got a shipment coming today. I hope they don't come while I'm, here talking to you because then the doorbell will throw me all off, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, we will pause so that you can receive your shipment of wine. That is important. From one fellow wine lover to another, I see you.
It's kind of important. Really funny, like our FedEx driver knows us so well that he gave us a bottle of Coquito for Christmas. I mean, he stopped by quite frequently, not just from the wine, but from everything else that gets delivered to the front door. And so we all know Juan and he's fantastic. So so that's one thing I've got going on. I like along the lines of being clean and a little bit, like wanting to make better decisions about what I'm putting in my body, on my body, how I'm taking care of myself and my kids. I ran into like this clean skincare and beauty line. It's called Crunchy with an I. And I was like, I need to get in on this too. And so I use the products, even though I've got like this, little pimple that's like popping up on my.
We cannot even see that. I'm just telling you, by the way.
What's that?
We cannot even see that. I'm just telling you.
Oh my gosh, good. Well, I just called myself out for no reason. Just kidding. That's what I do. So Crunchy, and then Tate and Zoe's the newest fun thing that I got myself into. It's fun and affordable gifts. Like I feel like that's something I need more of because I'm not good at remembering to send gifts. So I'm like, oh yeah, Mother's Day is this Sunday. I haven't put cards in the mail, but at least I've got like some gifts that have already gone. So I feel like it's going to help me like that. So I have like cute shirts, like stay golden and cute earrings and fun things for myself and fun things for friends. And then as crazy as I am, I actually just started using these like Thrive vitamins. So the vitamins, the lifestyle shakes, and then the little patch, the DFT. So I just started promoting that this week too, because I like it. It's all good.
Well, isn't that though, like one of those things, like I know I do that too. Like there are certain things that I absolutely love that I promote that, do have the direct sales opportunities available with them. And I think that one of the reasons why is because when I fall in love with something, I can't help but share it with the world. Like,
exactly.
It's like, okay, I found my favorite. Okay, I'm in love with this blanket right now.
Okay.
And it is the softest, most amazing, most luxurious looking blanket.
Yeah.
And it is so comfortable. And I won't let anybody touch it. And the cat gets locked out of this room. But it's like I came across it on an Etsy site. And I'm just like, I have to tell everybody about it because it's the most amazing blanket. And they have them in all these different colors and sizes. And so like, I find myself, doing that same thing. And I've done that for years as well. And I've done direct sales in the past. And so I totally relate to that. And I think that one of the beautiful things about direct sales is that it's given women a really strong platform to say we vote with our dollars and our voices now.
Yes.
And we are taking care of our families in the way that fits us. We are calling it out there and saying, this is what we want in the world as women, and this is what we're expecting from the world around us. And I think that that is what's created this really incredible shift. And it's so cool to see women stepping up, finding their confidence in that, and not just changing their lives and their families' lives, but changing the lives of other people through it. Like,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you're like, I love these things and I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, I love it. And I love like any opportunity to continue learning. And, if I'm helping maybe to educate other people along the way, like that makes me feel good. And I feel like I'm put in front of all of these different, I don't know, like other teachers and people like just in all kinds of different backgrounds that it's helping me to grow in so many different ways. And so I love it. I don't myself, I love it.
That's
I'm positive
awesome.
that other people might love it too.
Yeah. And when you share something that's changed your life or that's made your life easier or more enjoyable, then the people who want those same things, they step up and they say, hey, that's really cool. It's like when you go on Amazon and you're like, I'm not sure which one of these 1,000 options to choose from. And if you
Right?
don't read the reviews, you end up with some wonky thing that showed up on your doorstep.
Yeah,
Those reviews matter.
they do.
Yeah. So like, I know that I try to buy the majority of my things from women entrepreneurs to the best of my ability. And so I know that I want to support women in that and I want to show up that way. And I think that the more we do that for each other and we turn to somebody who's got a similar taste, has a
Yeah.
similar intention, and we say, what do you think about this? Give
Mm-hmm.
me some idea. Give me your best review. That's so important.
It is. I love it. I always feel like I could be doing more to support other women and other businesses that are owned by women. But I this is like there's always a jumping off point and a place to get started.
Well, and truth is we can always say we could always do more, but if we do one new thing this month or this year, we take a step in that direction. And after one change, one shift, and then say you do one shift a month, simple, right? Like,
Yeah.
maybe you're reducing your plastic use in your house or something, and you're doing one different thing a month. After a whole year, you've made 12 changes in your lifestyle in that one area. Like, that's huge impact to have. So never discount all of the good that you're doing in the world.
So true.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what does living a radiant life mean to you, Melissa? You've got a lot on your plate. You're a mom, you've got all these cool opportunities. What does living a radiant life mean to you particularly?
You know, it's a lot of different things. It's really funny because in other years I hadn't really done a very good job of like choosing a word of the year for myself. And maybe I did a couple of years. I don't know that I really like focused on it or did much throughout the year. But for 2021, I was like, okay, I'm going to choose one. And it really came down to three. So strong and clear and radiant were my three words.
I love that.
And yes. And so I just thought, okay, well, strong, like that isn't just physical. It's not, it's mental. It's a whole bunch of things. Just being clear. I thought, well, I can always be a little more clearer in my communication and clearer in my thinking and my focus. So that's something good. And then when it came to radiant, I just thought, I want, I want to be light. Like I want to go out into the world and I want to be myself. And I want to share that with other people because 2020 kind of got dark in like so many ways. And we all need to be like, if we can, light for other people. And like as a person, I just want to show up in a way that is more helpful for other people, for my kids. You know, like I've had plenty of days where I'm like, okay, I'm not the best mom today. I can be a little better, but maybe you know, focusing on being radiant will help my kids, will help my neighbors, my friends, whoever. Um, so yeah, I guess that's my initial thought.
Yeah.
How
And,
it-
that's really beautiful the way that you put it, because that's sort of the intention behind my business, is to teach women how to shine their light in the world and move through the fears and the judgments in order to do so. And it is, the reason is because of my own personal story and me walking that journey in order to figure out how to do that in an unapologetic way. But that doesn't mean that I'm not kind in the process. It means that I'm the fullness of every great thing about who I am, as well as being the woman that I am.
I
And
love that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so radiance, right? It's just like this, it does. If it radiates out of you, it has this beautiful ripple effect. So when you work on your radiance, your light, then you have an impact on the people around you, your kids, your community, your family. And then that continues to ripple as they then radiate themselves into the world the way that they're supposed to, which is just gorgeous.
It is. I feel like there have been plenty of times, and even like I just kind of almost forgot who I was in a lot of ways, and I just kind of withdrew into myself. And you know, being in a job where I didn't feel as appreciated as I wanted to be or as I thought I could, and you know, even like being a mom and just like focusing too much on my kids and not on who I was. I just I wasn't as radiant. I didn't feel as Melissa like as I felt like I should. And so yeah, I guess it's been kind of a process of like refiguring out how to be the person that I really want to be and figuring out how to let that shine through and, you know, be as nerdy and fun and cool as I want to be.
That's right. Nerdy is cool.
It is.
Growing up, going through school in the late 80s and early 90s, it was really, you know, so fun to be like, I didn't want to be the nerd, but I loved everything about being a nerd. Like,
Yeah.
I love to read and I love to have like these super deep old school conversation. Like, I've been this way my whole life,
Yeah.
and I hated in the fifth grade when I had to get classes. Like, I was the last of my siblings, and
Fourth grade for me. Mhm.
was it really? Oh my
Yeah.
God. And I just was like, I was so proud. I don't know why, but like, it's not like I had anything to do with my 2020 vision, but I was so
No.
proud that I held that over my siblings. And then I
Mhm.
had to get these glasses, and I was just so mortified. I was so,
Oh. Oh my gosh, they were terrible. Mine were like, they probably would look really cool now thinking it, but they were like clear pink with the gold side thing. And oh my gosh, like
that mauve, like a faded pink. They were big. Yeah, they would be so cool today.
yeah,
They're
they would be.
making a comeback.
I wish I had them somewhere.
I know, right?
Why didn't I save those? The funny thing is, I don't know if you want to know, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So I didn't know that I needed glasses, but I was looking out the back door of our house and we had like a really big, long backyard. And I'm like, what's that brown paper? Or no, what's that cat doing out there? I just gave the story away. And anyway, Mom, where'd that cat come from? And she's like, cat, there is no cat back there. I'm like, no, there's a cat right there. She's like, that's not a cat. I'm like, I'm going to go show you. And I'm walking down there and I'm like, oh, it's a brown paper bag. Darn it. And she's like, I think we need to make an appointment for you to go get your eyes checked. So I'm like, yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, the
There you go.
stories we have, right?
Yeah, too many.
But I think that that those stories and those honest moments in our lives, when we have any fear or shame or struggle around those stories and we internalize that shame and that fear around it, then we're not able to live in the fullness of who we are. And until we let that go and be the silly, honest, authentic versions of ourselves, then we're stuck, right? And then we're not shining our radiance in the world. Because truth is, I would have never guessed that we had similar silly stories about getting glasses. You know,
Nope.
like one more thing in common. Like, how cool is
Exactly.
that?
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And you find these relatable moments with people that really just makes up the truth of humanity, that we're all so similar in so many ways.
Yeah. I think the thing that I've been realizing lately is that like we all have these things we think about. We're like, oh my gosh, I am so weird. Like, why do I think this way? Why do I do things like that? Why this? And like even in conversations with my husband, and he'll be like something about normal. I'm like, well, what is normal? Like, we're all doing things and we're all normal people. Like, just because I do it this way and so does it that way, like it's still all normal, even if it's weird. I don't know. I mean,
Yep.
you just have to normalize living life.
Well, that's what it is, right? We have to normalize uniqueness.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. And I think that that's another piece of being and living your most radiant life, is normalizing uniqueness for yourself. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay that I am a little bit weird in certain things. It's okay that I had that thought. It's okay that I have a mini panic attack every time I watch my husband load the dishwasher. I mean, that's really okay.
Right.
I
Right.
will get over that. And then when he leaves the room, I'll reorganize the dishwasher. It's fine, really.
It's fine. Yeah. No, I mean, we all have those things. And it's like, okay, you just have to, I don't know, get to that point where you realize we all have those things. So,
Yeah. And that's really what makes us so similar.
yeah.
You know, we are all unique in the way that we do certain things, but the truth is we all have so many things in common because of our uniqueness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So what's the most important thing you believe that you need to learn still to live your most radiant life?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's like a constant, ever evolving, growing journey that I don't think it's ever going to end. And that's cool with me. I still think that there are times when I don't really say what I'm really thinking when it's conversation with someone that is so close that you should be having the most honest conversations. And I still get afraid of like saying something and then hurting someone's feelings and not being able to repair that or move past it. So I think that is something that really holds me back from being as radiant as I possibly could be at this point.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting that that seems to be really, really common, commonly more talked about right now in the times that we're in. People are talking about how to have honest conversations with the people closest to them. And interestingly enough, I just had a client earlier this week that we kind of coached around some of this stuff and how to do that. And man, it's never easy, right? Because like you have to be vulnerable, you have to have a lot of courage, you have to keep doing it no matter how terrified you are in that moment, because otherwise that's the only way you're going to build the courage to keep going, you know, and to get a little braver at it and be a little bit more authentic each time you show up with that person.
Yeah. I just need to, get better at it.
And it's always the things where we actually have to practice every single time that uncomfortable thing comes up. I say a lot, learning how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable is the key, to really living your most radiant life. And honestly, this is actually an interesting thing that you brought up, because this morning I was thinking, I had a conversation with a family member a couple of days ago, and I didn't say what I wanted to say right in the moment. We were both sort of in a hurry, so it wasn't really the prime time to do it. But I'm feeling so compelled to make time this weekend to have that conversation, because it's a sticking point and it's going to create resentment if it doesn't happen. And yeah,
it's not fun. I think I took notes from like one of the sermons a couple weeks ago at church, and it was all about being comfortable with the uncomfortable. So it's a theme that's definitely coming up for me.
Yeah.
Something I probably need to lean into a little more. And
what's the hardest part of doing some of that for you?
I don't know. I guess it's just not like, obviously I can't control the outcome, but maybe that's the thing. Like, I want to be able to control it. And if I don't talk about it, then that's my form of controlling it.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Yeah. I'm gonna challenge you using the word problem.
Okay.
Try the word obstacle instead.
That is a better word. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. And the reason is because when we say problem, it's like, no, I got to do all of the steps to come up with a solution. And then I've got to act on it. But when we're driving along the road or we're walking through the world and we come across an obstacle, we only have to take a moment to say, okay, what's the best way around, over, through? Do I need to move it out of the, like, in that moment, an obstacle is simply something that we're working with instead of working against.
That makes really good sense. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that and think of things in that way.
Yeah. It's so helpful to just have a moment where you can say, what can I take away from this experience? What can I take away from this moment? What have I learned? What do I want to keep learning? What's working, what's not?
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think the most valuable lesson that you feel you've learned so far in your life that's allowed you to shine your light in the world?
I don't know. Most valuable. It's a really good question, and I probably should have a better answer, but I don't know. I guess just realizing that, like, it's like that, you've seen the thing like so much lately, the thing that doesn't make any sense. People, like, everybody's got something that's going on with them, you don't know what it is. So if you honk your horn at them because they're, stopping in the wrong place and they're lost, like, you have no idea what's going on with another person.
Yep.
I just feel like if I could do my part to understand that and realize that and treat people in a way that, I'd want to be treated, and maybe just be kind and bring light and just be a better person, then I'm going to make a difference, a little bit here and there. It's like, picking up the starfish, like, you can't throw all the starfish back in the sea, but you can, like, rescue one. And so you're doing something good. So I don't know. I just feel like it's not really a lesson. It's just something that I have thought about recently. So
it sounds like it has been a lesson in your life, though, because you've shifted into this place where I really want to pause and I really want to think about the fact that I don't know why this person in front of me has decided to drive 25 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone, and I'm late for my appointment. Yeah.
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 So it's I don't know. It's something that like I write. It bothers me when I see other people that are like, you know, rah, 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 like wanting to jump down someone else's throat. For I'm like, can you not like pump the brakes for a second and just like think about, okay, maybe this, maybe that. You have no idea, or maybe they really are just a jerk and they, slam the brakes on for no reason or whatever. But maybe not.
It's sort of that recognized pain before reaction. It's kind of this moment where somebody's losing their cool and you
Mm-hmm.
don't know why they're losing their cool. Like you have no idea what triggered that behavior.
Yeah.
But you having the awareness to say, this isn't about me. This is about whatever's going on with them. They're just
Mm-hmm.
taking it out on me. And I
Mm-hmm.
can pause and I can recognize that there's pain of some sort that's triggering this behavior. And therefore, I'm going to choose to respond versus react.
Yeah. Yeah. That is exactly it.
Yeah. And I think that when we model that without knowing that we're modeling that all the time, for our kids, for our spouses, for our family members, it does have this incredible ripple effect. They start to just do what we do before we realize they're doing it.
Yeah. If I can teach my kids and help my husband understand things, and see them make better choices, then it's a win for me.
Yeah, for sure. I will say, our son, who's 20, is in the army and he's stationed over in Italy right now. And he's not got the best, he's got a really great roommate, but his platoon isn't like the best group of guys. They're not promoting good choices. And
Yeah.
there's even some married men in this group that are definitely out partying and having a good time. And so my 20-year-old son, of course, I'm thinking to myself, well, we'll see what happens. This kid is impressing me left and right with the things that I never thought he learned here at home.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I think it just comes back to the realization that open lines of communication, being honest and transparent when our flaws show up to the party, and
Mm-hmm.
apologizing, and also just being raw and just trying to do better today than
Yeah.
we did yesterday, and just being honest about those things. That has so much more of an impact than we realize sometimes,
I spend a decent amount of time apologizing to my kids, especially because I fly off the handle, I lose my cool, and then it's like, okay, I'm sorry. I know, like, I want you doing that. So why am I doing that to you? And then the last couple of days, my daughter will say, "You're a good mom today. You're a good mom." I'm like, "Thank you, sweetie." And I'm like, oh, that makes me wonder what she thinks on the other days, but at least I'm a good mom today. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's true though. We're so imperfect, and
oh yeah.
we're doing everything we can not to perpetuate the things that didn't work when we were kids. Yet here we are going, "Oh my gosh, my mother just came out of my mouth."
All the time.
I said I would never say that to my children.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not perfect, but when we show up and we are honest about our imperfections to our kids, then we're teaching them how to do that, not just for themselves as the little people that they are dealing with their big emotions, but also that's really going to impact and influence how they show up for their kids someday.
Yeah.
I read something the other day that was just so beautiful. I'm going to see if I can find it. And I just thought, it's just so perfect for what we're talking about right now.
Awesome. Well, while you're looking for that, when my father-in-law was, I think, probably close to 20, he was in the army and stationed in Italy, and that's where he met my mother-in-law. So Yeah. So good things come from being in the army in Italy.
Yes, it does. It
Yeah.
very much does. Oh, here it is. I want my kids to surpass me in kindness, outweigh me in love for others, and outgive me in generosity. I don't want to be the ceiling to their potential. I want to be their floor.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's what, like, if you didn't want that for your kids, then,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Right? Why have them in the first place?
Right. Awesome.
So, Melissa, how do you integrate all parts of what being a woman means to you?
I don't even know sometimes. I I don't know. Sometimes it's just crazy. But I feel like I have learned in the last year to take time for myself again. I forgot how to do that for a while. And so for me, it is like either taking time to sit and read something, whether it's a devotion or a book that's going to teach me something, or listening to a podcast that's going to, uplift me or teach me, or I use the same words over and over, but, finding something that's going to pour back into me because I need that. And if it's sometimes just like taking a bath or rolling out the yoga mat and I'm like, okay, I need to close the door. I'm going to do some yoga for 30 minutes. That that makes me feel like, a human and a woman again, because I'm just tuning into myself. I don't know. And then just connecting with other women. Like it reminds me that I'm not just, you know, mom. I'm a, woman that has a brain that thinks about things other than just making mac and cheese and helping to, figure out where all the socks went. So
Yeah.
there's that. Um, I don't know. I can't think of what else.
I think that's beautiful though, because I think that that's the reality of women today, right? We're sort of, you know, realizing that being superwoman is not really what we want as women. We want to
Yeah.
be seen as whole, just the way that we are, not just the doers of, oh, she holds down this amazing job and she raises these kids and she runs this house and she, like, no thanks. I'm good. I just want to be seen, period.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a thing. And I
Yeah.
think that that's honest. It's just so raw and it's so honest to say, I have all these parts of me. I have the creative side and the nurturing side and the passionate side, and I need to pull them all in. But when I'm raising little people and I've got all this other stuff going on, it
Mm-hmm.
comes in very sporadic pockets.
Yeah. Yeah. So I try to find time when I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that really the growth in that is the opportunity to find more regular pockets, right? Just more little bits of where you can show up for yourself and honor what womanhood is for you. And it's different for every woman to a certain degree, right? Like we all deeply value different parts of what it means to be a woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like some days it is okay. I want to put on some makeup and feel like a woman. It's not every day. Sometimes it's just I just want to sit with my friend and have a cup of coffee and have a real conversation that's people talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that that sisterhood place that we get to when we sit
Yeah.
down together as women is just, that's what I think, that's what fuels this world.
Mm-hmm. I love it. And
Yeah.
I kind of see it in my daughter when, Mom, can you just sit and play with me? Like that's her version of it. And we'll just play with our little finger people. Like she makes me like, these are my people. And we just pretend. And it's like that's what's like gonna fill her cup at that moment. And that's how we connect. So
Yeah. It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
It's so beautiful.
it's fun.
Yeah. So, what is the thing that you're cherishing right now about what your womanhood is for you?
Hmm. I don't know. You ask good questions, Stephanie.
Well, I will say that that's sort of my job. I kind of do that for a living.
Well, it's funny. No, I mean, I think for me, it's right now just knowing that, like, I love the flexibility of and like seeing where I've come from and seeing where I'm going and maybe not seeing a full picture, but knowing that like I I can do things like, and I don't have to be like on this set track of I'm working for XYZ company and I have to do all the things in that job until, I don't know, like that's old me, new me. I get to do new things and try new things. And um like I get to shape my own future and I get excited by that.
I love that. I love that line. I get to shape my own future. Isn't that just what we all really want at the end of the day?
Yeah. And I think I was too afraid for the longest time to even try to think along those lines.
Yeah.
And when like the choice was made for me in a way, like my job was eliminated and it's like, okay, what do I do next? I got really excited and realized, okay, I get to choose what I do next. Like I love those choose your own adventure books. Like I can go
Yes.
decide which page I'm going to next. So,
And
uh,
if I don't like the outcome, I'm going back to the last one and I'm going to choose the
right,
other option.
choose the next one. Exactly. And it's all good. Like somehow I'll be supported and things will work out and I'm like not afraid. So,
I love that.
yeah,
I love that. That's beautiful.
thanks.
That's really inspirational too. I know that a lot of women in this sisterhood community are desperate for that same thing to stand in the confidence of choosing
Mm-hmm.
their future, choosing their life and their lifestyle. And I think that that's one of the beautiful things about direct sales, that it really does offer women. And that's why so many women are like, the flexibility. I get to build a business at my pace with the support of a company and
Mm-hmm.
the company's products because I believe in what they're doing. And then I still get to be the kind of wife, mom, community member, whatever it is that I want to do outside of a career.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's beautiful. And one of the things that I've really loved to watch from women who I know who have started out in direct sales of some sort, either that experience has grown them into the career that they've always wanted, and then they go
Mm-hmm.
to pursue it. Like, it builds so much confidence. It's
It
just
does.
beautiful.
And I think that I've seen so many stories and I maybe didn't connect the dots along the way until more recently of women that maybe started out, like you said, doing something else, maybe within direct sales, and now they're running huge companies and maybe selling their own products or building their own things. And it's really exciting to see.
It really is.
Yeah.
The entrepreneurship of women that has launched because of direct sales is just
Yeah.
really is beautiful.
Yeah.
What have you learned and gained from direct sales yourself?
Um, I just feel like I mean, really technical things of, do a better job at tracking and planning and all of that. Like things that are, I guess I feel like they're common sense, but sometimes I don't always take the common sense route. um, and I just feel like confidence, like instilling confidence in other people, and I've had other people instill confidence in me. That's like the huge takeaway. I mean, not that I have never been confident, but sometimes the right amount of, like a little oomph has come along and pushed me in that direction where I needed it. And I mean, that's like the simple way of saying it.
That's beautiful, though. I think that that's just honoring the fact that you've been challenged and those challenges have helped you to be more fully yourself, which is just awesome.
Thanks.
It's just awesome. I love getting the opportunity to sit and pick the brain of fellow entrepreneurs and kind of get the perspective of how you got to where you are today. And I think one of the beautiful things about that is that the more that we as women talk about what got us to where we are, our stories, our journeys, those are the things that allow us to grow and continue to be successful as entrepreneurs. Because really, at the end of the day, most women really do business with other women or with other companies because of a connection. It's a relationship. It's not necessarily about the product itself as it is the connection you have with the person that you're purchasing from. I buy from lots of different women who I see their passion for what they're trying to achieve with whatever organization they're with. And it is beautiful. It is inspiring. It's incredible. And they're really making a difference in their corner of the world, which is fantastic.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. I think it's, just really cool. That just helping support and share and love on your friends and other women that you see that are doing good out there. And I love seeing what they can do.
What's your favorite way to pay it forward?
Hmm. Um, I don't know. Can't think of one. I guess just like it sounds really silly because I feel like I've sat at home for a long time. But it's when like a friend, and it may not be a friend that I talk to all the time. It might be someone who I used to work with a while ago. Like they post something on Facebook and it's like commenting and putting a really like a message that I'm feeling from the heart to support them, and or sending them a message to say, hey, I saw this and I'm just really excited for you, and being genuine and letting them know how you feel.
It's sounds like you love spreading a little love into other people's world.
Yeah, and I'm not always good at it. I can't say I do it all the time, but I do love doing it.
Well, and I think when it comes from such a genuine place, it requires energy. Like we have to stop. We have to really be intentional about what we're putting out there because we want them to feel loved and supported. So it takes time, it takes energy. So sometimes it's hard to do all the time because you don't always have the time and the energy to give the kind of love that you want to give, to
Yeah.
pull deep enough. So, do you identify as an empath person?
Yeah, I do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. I totally get that. When genuine love and support comes from the soul, empaths really do want to be fully present, and so it does just drain them sometimes, and so they have to give and then go replenish and then give and then go replenish.
Yeah, that's definitely me.
Plug in yourself into an outlet.
Right?
I'm in timeout.
Yeah. Check on me later.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I see that in you.
Awesome.
Yeah. What do you think has been the most valuable thing that you have allowed yourself to share with the world?
Hmm. Valuable. I don't know. My friendship. I mean, I think that the people that um I do get to be friends with, then I hope they see it as valuable. 'Cause I know that I'm getting that back from them. Um, and I've had some really great friends, and sometimes you lose track or you just lose touch, and sometimes there's an actual like break in friendship, and I've been left wondering like, okay, what the heck happens here? But the people that like have stuck with me and that I've stuck with as friends, like I feel like what we are able to like give and receive to each other is just like, what's the point of living if you can't like have friendships and people that you can go to and rely on and love on and
Yeah,
I
be in
don't know.
connection.
What's the point of knowing like, anything else if you can't have friendship like that?
Totally. What does leaving a legacy mean to you?
Um, since I don't have like $1 million sitting in my bank account, it's not monetary. Um, sorry, I worked for a financial services company for a while, so leaving a legacy, like it's like the first thing you think of. But with it's like the whole quote that you had that your kids are like more generous, more loving, more giving than you are. Like when you leave, like there's something that you've taught your kids or your family, your friends, whoever, like someone, and you've made an impact, and that they carry something of that with them and share it with other people um after you're gone.
Yeah, so your stamp on the world.
Yeah,
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 I like
a
that.
little stamp of weirdness.
I love that. I'm leaving my stamp of weirdness.
Uh-huh. It's like the story of like, mom, why do you cut the ends off the ham every time we have ham? And it's like, well, that's how mom always did it, and then you come to find out like, well, mom had a square pan and that's why she had to cut the ends off. It's like I just heard that one again the other day and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. I'm like, what things like that do I do because my mom or grandma or someone, did it that way?
I love that. And it
Yeah.
just goes to show that sometimes we learn things from our adults that we didn't question. It
Yeah.
just was what it was.
Yeah. It's
I
funny.
think that's awesome. I know, because now I'm trying to think like, were there things that my grandmother taught me that I never questioned? Yeah, I bet there were, especially because I used to bake bread with her every weekend.
Uh-huh.
And
That sounds awesome.
it was her grandmother's recipe. And so like this recipe has been in my family for many generations. And
Awesome.
growing up on a farm, this is just what you did. And you had to make such a big batch because there's so many people to feed. And of
Mhm.
course, the first loaf that comes out, everybody has to eat hot anyway. So
Yes.
yeah. So I'm just like, okay, what did she do? Certain things that she did
Yeah.
that I just never questioned. And you know what it was? This is so funny. She had this huge Tupperware bin that she
Mhm.
would put the dough in, and she would put the lid on it,
Okay.
right? Then she would she used flour sacks as her
Mhm.
dish towels. And so she would take her big flour sack dish towel and put it over the top of it. And then she would put it in the bathroom to let it
Uh-huh.
rise because it's warm in there, right? That all
Yeah.
made sense to me. What
Uh-huh.
didn't make sense to me was the fact that the dish towel, now that I think about it, was so threadbare that it's not like it was blocking out light. And
No.
the Tupperware container was clear. So I'm going in this moment, I'm going,
Why? Hmm.
huh,
Yeah.
I do the same things.
It's really funny. Like, what is it doing? I don't know why. I just do it because I'm sure
Okay.
there are things that my kids do, and yeah, we'll have to figure it out.
So funny. So funny. What was something generational that has made an impact on how you show up as a woman?
Hmm. I don't know. I say I don't know a lot, huh?
You do.
I've been told that before. I haven't changed it. Um, I don't. I'm trying to think. Hmm. I don't have a good answer for it.
Well, I think that's great though, because usually what happens is, um, and of course, as a coach, I know this because I deal with this every day. When I plant good questions, right? It's like planting a seed.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize in advance. However, it's very likely that in the wee hours of the day, you'll be like, aha, I'm going to answer that question. I know what it is.
I know it. I'm going to send you a message.
That's right.
That's funny.
I think that being a woman today is really interesting because we have so many hundreds of years, thousands of years of this like expectation of what being a woman means. And I think that today's women are saying, you know what? We're not okay with the expectation or the status quo. We're going to take what we love about the history and then we're going to put our own stamp on it and we're going to make it our own.
Yeah.
And we're going to change the game for all the women coming behind us.
Yeah, I can definitely see like there are things that, my mom did differently from my grandma, that I do differently from my mom, that I'm sure Amelia will do differently from me. And then there are still, some of the similarities. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretty cool though to see.
It is really cool. It is really cool. I just want to say thank you. This has been such an enjoyable conversation and a lovely hour to spend with you. And I am so grateful that you said yes to having this time with me today. And I love having just honest conversations with women. And I love that we have the opportunity to do that today, get to know each other a little better. And yeah.
Thank you. I've had fun. It was exciting and a good conversation. So definitely enjoyable. And even better that my kids were playing with the neighbors, so we didn't have to deal with crazy interruptions today.
I was just gonna say, and I am so like impressed. You were like, listen, I'm not even gonna deal with it. Like these kids gotta go, man.
You should hear the things they say when I'm, in the middle of a conversation.
It would add to the liveliness.
It would. It really would. Maybe another time. It'll turn into like a whole blooper reel for you.
Hey, I'm all about that. My kids, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Mine are the same way, even as adults.
Awesome.
Yep. So good. Them little sass buckets.
Mm-hmm. All of it. All of it.
One last question for you.
Okay.
Did yours come in the mail?
No, I need to go check the mail. I don't think I checked it yesterday or today.
It's supposed to be delivered yesterday. So
yesterday. Sorry about that.
Why are you? You have nothing to apologize
My giant mug. What's that?
You have nothing to apologize for.
Well, thank you for sending it. I should be saying thank you.
You're welcome.
Love good mail. Fun mail. Who doesn't?
Yes. Yes. And
Awesome.
I know that all the women in my tribe are like me. They like a good coffee mug they can wrap their hands around. So
yes. Awesome. Perfect.
It's just my little way of saying thank you for making the time to do this.
Thank you. It was time well spent, for sure.
Thank you for adding to the conversation, and thank you for being willing to be part of the conversation.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, Melissa, you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again so much for making the time to have this talk with me today.
Thank you. Hope you have a good rest of your afternoon too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.